over the last few weeks, as part of our reflections, we have been looking at the Ten Commandments. As we've now come to the end of the commandments, I thought it would be good for us to just spend some time reviewing the commandments. And a good way of doing that is for us to listen to the words from the Bible, from Exodus chapter 20. So listen to the commandments as God gave them to his people. God said to the people of Israel, "I am the Lord your God, the one who brought you out of Egypt where you were slaves. Do not worship any god except me. Do not make idols that look like anything in the sky or on earth or in the ocean under the earth. Do not bow down and worship idols. I am the Lord your God, and I demand your love. If you reject me, I will punish your families for 3 or 4 generations. But if you love me and obey my laws, I will be kind to your families for thousands of generations. Do not misuse my name. I am the Lord your God, and I will punish anyone who misuses my name. Remember that the Sabbath day belongs to me. You have 6 days when you can do your work, but the 7th day of each week belongs to me, your God. No one is to work on that day. Not you, your children, your slaves, your animals, or the foreigners who live in your towns. In 6 days I made the sky, the earth, the oceans, and everything in them. But on the 7th day I rested. That's why I made a Sabbath, a special day that belongs to me. Respect your father and your mother, and you will live a long time in the land I'm giving you. Do not murder. Be faithful in marriage. Do not steal. Do not tell lies about others. Do not want anything that belongs to anyone else. Don't want anyone's house, wife or husband, slaves, oxen, donkeys, or anything else." You might think that somebody who spent weeks or months collecting photographs and little video clips and downloading music and editing all of that into a wonderful little video in order to give that to the love of their life, a movie of their life together. You'd think that was really sweet, right? But I guess you'd consider them much better than the person who kind of sits around watching sport on television and kind of not doing very much. And when that person is asked about what they're doing for the person that they love as a special gift, a special memento, when they're asked, how do they respond? Well, they say something like, "Yeah, I didn't really do anything because, well, I thought about you and I thought about doing something, and that counts, right?" But thinking about something and doing something, for most of us, we would say, well, it's not the same thing. We would say that the person who put the video together and really thought about what they were doing and did something with it is far better than the person who just sat around and did nothing. We probably think it doesn't really work in our world if we say things like, "Oh, I thought about picking the children up from school today," or saying to your boss, "Well, I thought about finishing that piece of work that you asked me to do, but I didn't quite get there." Or maybe you say to a person in need, I thought about helping you, I just didn't do it. And just thinking about something and not doing it in some situations, well, it's not good. And we might think, well, that's true for the commandments. We don't actually do those things wrong. We've listened to what you've read, Trevor, and we've heard those different commandments about what we should not do. But we don't do them. In Matthew chapter 5, verses 21 and 22, Jesus talks about situations where thinking about doing something is as bad as doing it. And maybe as we think about those 10 commandments, what we need to understand is that even if we haven't physically done those things, if we've thought about it, if we've contemplated it, it's as bad as if we had done it. Maybe use that as something to ponder as you think through those 10 commandments.